The 25th of every month was every single thing to me. But then I gave it up for a whole year. And I'd never been happier, honestly. It was the very best year of my life. Right, so my name is Uzamaka Nkemdirim. I have lived in Lagos most of my adult life. After my university, I started living there, and I've literally lived there most of my adult life and worked in one of the biggest telecom companies in Nigeria. Worked there for over 15, 20 years or so. Yes, and I grew through the ranks, became a management staff and all that. So in Nigeria lingo, you will say that, yes, I was doing well in Nigeria. Things were moving up. Things were good. And my company was one of the best companies in Nigeria. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. But the thing is, at some point, I just thought that I wanted more, if you know what I mean. There was just some sort of restlessness. I wasn't really very happy. I was just a bit frustrated with work at some point. And again, there were some personal things that just got me really not doing so well, thriving the way. And thriving, if you know my values, thriving is part of it. I need to thrive to survive. And so at some point I had to make up my mind I wanted to do something extra. So it was at that point that I requested for what we call in our company career break. Career break is where you have an opportunity to go do some other things beside work. You may be working for a long period of time. You just want to do something else. And it can be inside Nigeria or outside Nigeria, wherever. Just do something else that your heart yearned for. And that was what I wanted to do. And so that opportunity came, and I said, you know what? I just wanted to go outside the country. I just wanted to try out Canada, of course, to just see whether my body, my heart will accept it. And yes, the opportunity came and I took it. But, when you take a career break, you are going without pay. And I wanted to stretch it, and I stretched it for 1 year. So I traveled outside the country and spent a whole year without my salary. And if you work in my organization, the 25th of every month, it's a big deal. I've never seen, for the years that I've worked there, I've never seen a day it didn't come. So you become used to it. You wait for it, it must happen, So for the whole year without the 25th, a lot. But you know what? I was very happy. I decided to, mine is different. The fact that I didn't have a salary. And again, my son was just getting started with his master's in the United Kingdom. So there was not a lot of money. It was things were stretched and all. So I really can't even imagine how I survived that whole thing. And let me take that back again. I mean, I understand it. Like, I had a lot of support. You never know what has done for you when you have support. Like, you have support, family, friends. Sometimes I feel like God ordained my footsteps. Like, God brought those friends, brought those family members to just help me at that particular point in time, because it was really very daunting to say the least. It was really very daunting. So yes, my lot wasn't coming, but I was really happy for it. I had this internal peace. I didn't have a lot of money, but I had peace. I had peace of mind. When I went to Canada, I had peace of mind. It was, I can't explain it, but I was fulfilled. I had rest. I was thriving in that whole scarcity. I was thriving. And the funny thing is that when it was time to go home, because the career break came to an end, I had a major anxiety. Like, when it was time for me to go home, a whole year passed and it was time for me to go home, I had a major anxiety. At some point I was asking myself, are you sure you just don't want to resign and just stay back and all that? And so I had a major anxiety, but at some point I needed to go because I had already told everyone that I was coming back. And there was also a yearning in me that you have not yet decided. So go back, recalibrate, and decide what you want to do. So yeah, I had to go back, but I had a major anxiety. But then when I went back and I loved what I was doing, I started enjoying work again. I had friends that I left behind. I started enjoying work again. But inside me, I felt like I needed to go. I still was restless. And when opportunity came, I grabbed it with both hands. I resigned. But the day I resigned, it's a different, another story entirely. The day I resigned, I cried so much. I cried in my car. Not because of the fact that I had resigned, but it was more of the finality. Because when I went on a career break, I knew that it was more like a soft landing. But this time around, I had resigned and there was no going back. It was for the long haul. So it was a bit daunting. It was scary. I had done it. So I really cried. On one hand, I loved it. The fact that I had made up my mind. The fact that I had resigned and it was my final day at work. And the fact that I was now going to fulfill my dream. But then I was also going to lose my friends. Not lose my friends per se, because I could still speak with them, but the finality of it all, I can't go back anymore. And it's not like I had every single thing figured out, if you know what I mean. So yes. And talking about Canada, the very first time I had always gone to Canada on a visit, but this time around when I went there to live for a whole year, one of the things that hit me the most was the winter. Oh my goodness. Nobody told me that I would cry in winter. I shed tears. I was literally wailing in the bus stop because the bus it was epileptic. The services were epileptic. They came late and I was wailing because it was cold. So cold that I couldn't function and I was crying. And at some point I had to take Uber and all that. That's one of the things that hit me the hardest. The fact that I wasn't properly layered. It was later that I got to find out that I wasn't properly layered. I didn't have the best gears and all that. And it was really, really daunting for me. But then I also learned my lessons. Right now, I'm an expert when it comes to layering and all that. And I know the best gears to buy. Where I am now, I am here right now. It's for the long haul. I do not have any option but to win. You know what I mean? Because where else am I going, right? I love it here. I love the peace that I radiate when I'm here. I don't have it all figured out. I'm still learning. I know that God has got me, and I know that I have the capability and every single thing that it takes to thrive here. Yes, I'm going to succeed. I know that it's going to be hard. Sometimes it's daunting. Sometimes I have some pangs. I have regrets and all that. But then sometimes I know that I made the right decision and all for my future, for my kids' future and all that. Yes. Why this channel exists? This channel exists for like-minded people like myself who are about to take this journey, who have taken this journey to share their experiences, raw, vulnerable, and just to let other people know that it's okay to feel the way you're feeling. There's nothing wrong with you. It is okay. It is a shared experience and you're going to be okay. Things will improve. Things will get better here. But it's a transition, and so you're going to have very rough moments as well. And yes, I want you to stay with me, subscribe to my channel, and put on your notification button so that anytime I post, I'll let you know. I'm going to be inviting a lot of people here to talk about their experiences and to share their outlook, to share their challenges, to share the things that have also gotten them to adapting, to share every single thing about their transition, such that you can actually learn and prepare if you are coming here as well. So stay with me. We are here in for a long haul. My name is Uzamaka, and this is Naija to Canada. Let's go.